Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon if you're watching this at noon. This is Craig Valine, your independent business advisor for Glazer Kennedy Insider Circle. Welcome. This is the May 2011 Chapter Plus call, How to Create a Powerful, Unique Selling Proposition. Let's get right into it. By the way, you should have received a packet at the last local chapter meeting that talked a little bit about what a USP or unique selling proposition was. I hope you read it. If you weren't there, well, this presentation should tell you everything you need to know. So let's get started. How to create a powerful, unique selling proposition. So, what is the definition of a unique selling proposition or USP? In his book, Reality in Advertising, adman Rosser Reeves laments that the USP is widely misunderstood and gives a precise definition in three parts. Each advertisement must make a proposition to the consumer, not just words, not just product puffery, not just show window advertising. Each advertisement must say to the reader, buy this product and you will get this specific benefit. So the proposition must be one that the competition either cannot or does not offer. It must be unique, either a uniqueness of the brand or a claim that otherwise made in that particular field of advertising. Okay, so it's basically something that is not being offered anywhere else. The proposition must be so strong that it can move the mass millions. For instance, pull over new customers to your product from an existing brand. Okay? So creating a USP. A USP, or unique selling proposition, is made up of all the things that you have to say and offer. But a true USP is the thing or things that differentiate, that you do differently, that are different by personality, price, offer, guarantee, whatever, so you stand out in a positive way in a sea or crowd of many that do what you do. So how do you answer this question? You've heard me mention this at chapter meetings, Fast Start workshops, anywhere, everywhere, coaching, masterminds. So how do you answer this question? Okay, this is what your prospects, your customers are asking themselves. Why should I, your prospect, choose to do business with you versus any and every other option available to me, including doing nothing at this time? Okay, so when anybody approaches your prospect, either by way of advertising, by specific marketing campaigns, through sales interactions or whatever, they're asking themselves this. Okay, they're asking you this. They just may not be always articulating it. But why should I, your prospect, choose to do business with you versus any and every other option available to me, including doing nothing at this time? Okay. Here's another question. Okay. What specific benefits or advantages do you offer that no one else does, can, or will offer me, okay, in your business category? Okay, if you don't have specific benefits or advantages that you can offer them, then why would they do business with you? Okay, if you're just another blank, just another consultant, just another salesperson, just another dentist, just another realtor, whatever, if you cannot tell them specifically what benefits and advantages they get by doing business with you versus anybody else, you're going to have a hard time getting them to say yes to your proposition. So why should you develop a USP? It gives you an incredible marketing advantage. Okay, a lot of people in your business category have no clue how to articulate why them versus anybody else. Okay, so if you can develop a USP, it gives you an incredible marketing advantage. Those that create a true USP experience huge growth. So once you're able to define why you versus anybody else, what specific benefits and advantages do you offer versus anybody else, you will experience huge growth. Okay. What else? Without one, you're vulnerable to your competition. So if they have one, or even if they don't have one, but you don't have one, then again, you're just competing against being just another blank. USP clearly and specifically communicates why you versus anybody else. It allows you to achieve your own clarity in your business, what you're about. Okay, why are you even in business doing what you're doing, and what you want people to think about you, your reputation. Okay, so only you can create your USP. Now, you can hire a consultant or a coach or whatever to help you do it, and I encourage that if you're stuck. But really, the USP is going to come from your knowledge about what you do, what your target market wants, why and what, and all those specific benefits and advantages that you offer or that you could offer that no one else can, does, or will. So you need to be involved in the process. You need to know that up front, okay? And secondly, it's not easy to do. It does require a lot of thought and work. Most of these strategies are extremely simple, but they're not always easy. It does require work on your part. If you think success will happen just like that, you're sorely mistaken, as someone I heard on a movie just said. You're sorely mistaken. It does require work. So you don't have to do it alone, but you need to be involved in the process. So 18 things to consider when developing your USP. Okay, what do you do great? What do you do better than anybody else in the marketplace? You need to communicate that. Okay, that's a specific benefit or advantage. It's got to be written from your target market's perspective. This is not about you necessarily. It's about what they get for doing business with you. What benefits do they get? Okay, so you need to speak in terms of when you do business with us, you get this benefit. You get this advantage. You get these things that no one else will offer you. Okay, always keep in mind it's always about them. It's never about you. Next, identifies your target market when stated. Okay, so it's you've got to clearly communicate who your target market is in your USP. So if I am a marketing consultant catering to entrepreneurial chiropractors, my USP must include entrepreneurial chiropractors in the phrase or in the USP. Opportunity gap. What void in the marketplace can you or do you fill? Okay, so what's missing out there that should exist but does not exist, that you do fill or you can fill? Okay, this really requires you to know your competition. If you're not shopping your competition, you're really missing out on a lot of great information. You should get on their mailing list. You should get on their email list. You should see what they're doing. Okay, how are they communicating to their target market, to their clients, to their customers, and how can you really exploit that? Should be short and easy to relay and clearly written so that anyone can understand it. Be concise. Doesn't need to be long and run out. And don't confuse a USP for a mission statement. A mission statement is for internal use, for a company to know what it's all about. A USP is for the customer. Okay, customer needs to know why they're in business with you. Once someone hears it, it should begin a conversation. Okay, and think about this. Will the way you describe what you do cause a crowd to gather around you, eager to ask questions about more? So you got to be interesting, but you got to be relevant. You got to be unique. You got to be specific. Okay. Offer a great guarantee. Do you offer a better guarantee than anybody else in your marketplace? So if you're saying I can't offer a guarantee, what I do I can't guarantee results. No, that may be true, may or may not be true. You may be jumping the gun and saying no, I can't offer a guarantee. Can lawyers offer guarantees? If your answer is no, you're wrong. They cannot make guarantees on outcomes. That is true, but they can guarantee that they'll return a phone call within 24 hours, which is one of the biggest unmet needs in the marketplace. Okay, and it's one of the biggest frustrations in the marketplace. One of our former members, Demetria Graves in Glendale, did just that. She has a 5-point guarantee. One of those points is I will return your call within 24 hours or refund you 1 billable hour. Now, I believe she charges like 300 and something per hour. So it's absolutely positively in her best interest to return that call within 24 hours. So you have to look outside of what the typical guarantee is. What are the biggest frustrations, right? How can you fill that? Okay, speed. That kind of ties into that, right? If we'll do business with you faster than anybody else, if we'll return your calls faster than anybody else, if we'll deliver faster than anybody else, we'll turn around your transaction with faster than anybody else, you've got a great USP. Okay, it's got to be believable. Okay, also, you can't guarantee outstanding, enormous results if they're not typical, if you can't do it all the time. Okay, so make sure that it's not like, no way, there's absolutely positively no way this could occur unless you have proof. Okay, and that goes with testimonials, case studies, whatever. If you're going to do something that's outrageously stated and not normal in the marketplace, you need to provide proof that that's true. So then you have a powerful USP. Okay, a big promise. Be bold with your USPs. Don't just kind of get by with it. You don't want to make an ordinary, kind of boring, dull, me too, vanilla kind of USP. USP by definition is unique, and it's bold, and it's big. Okay, make a big promise so that people go, wow, we'd be a fool not to do business with these people. Okay, big promise. What do people hate that you can fix? Okay, one example was FedEx. Okay, early on, I don't even remember when FedEx came out. It was in the 70s or the 80s. But, they used to have to rely on either U.S. Mail or UPS. UPS did not have overnight delivery at that time. They only brought it into the marketplace once FedEx entered the marketplace. So FedEx made the receptionist or the secretary the hero at that time. Because the boss would give them a packet and say, get this there as quickly as possible. And then, all of a sudden the administrative assistant, I'm calling them secretaries, but they were secretaries back in the 80s. They found a way to get their packages delivered overnight, which made business transactions happen much faster. It built a lot of rapport and trust within companies, et cetera, et cetera. So, they fulfilled a need. Demetria Graves fulfilling a need by promising to return a phone call within 24 hours. Most attorneys will not do that. It takes 3 or 4 days for that to occur. So what do people hate that you can fix that already occurs in your business? Price advantage. If there is a way to be the cheapest because of margin, because of volume, then that's good. If you're just lowering price because you don't really know how to sell, that's not good. Walmart can do what they do because of volume. Different businesses can do what they do because of volume. But you cannot just be the lowest price, because if you have a goal to be wealthy in your business, being the cheapest won't help you get there, especially if you're in business for yourself. How it's paid for advantage. So if you have greater payment options than your competitors, meaning you accept different forms of payment, you can spread your payment terms over a longer period than anybody else. If you can make it more convenient for people to pay you, you have an advantage. What does your customer experience? If they have a unique experience when they come in, like for instance, it was supposed to be this way, although it's kind of got off track. Starbucks was supposed to be your third place or your fourth place. I forget. I think it's third place. There was home, work, and then Starbucks. Okay, that's a unique experience because it's supposed to be a place where it felt like an Italian cafe. Okay, and that's originally how Howard Schultz had developed Starbucks. Was his experience in Italy, seeing how people were sitting out in the courtyard, out in we'll just call them courtyard for lack of better words. The smell of coffee, all those smells and experiences were supposed to create this unique experience. Now they've ruined it since then by offering sandwiches. So now when you walk in, you smell sandwiches and not coffee. But the point was that their original unique selling proposition was the reason we can charge so much more for a coffee is for the experience, not necessarily for the coffee. Okay, so think about what do you offer? What kind of experience do you offer when people do business with you? And do they go, this is really different. This is nice. There's a restaurant, Mexican restaurant that I've gone to since I moved here from Boston 17 years ago, called La Fiesta Grande in Pasadena. They have the best margaritas, by the way. Anyway, when you walk in, you feel like home. They all know your name. They treat you like your family. They have always helped me like I'm family. When I was a president of a nonprofit here in Pasadena, they would always help feed my volunteers. We used to paint the Rose Bowl for the Rose Bowl game. They feed my volunteers a couple days in a row. These people made me feel like family at their restaurant. So that was my unique customer experience. So you got to think about how do you make the process so much different than anybody else in your industry. Okay. Sales process advantage. If you have systems that work automatically, that are convenient, that are convenient for you, even. So, how do you make it so much easier to do business with you versus anybody else in your industry? Very powerful. Systems create wealth. Dan Kennedy says systems create wealth, and you can have systems. You can have systems within systems, and so on and so forth. Okay. Niche marketing, smartest way to create a USP. If you are the only, is a good way to put it. If you can ever use the word only in your marketing, that creates powerful USP. But if you're a consultant to a specific niche, if you are a hypnotherapist that solves a very, very specific problem, that's a niche. If you're an orthodontist, that's somewhat of a niche itself, So if you offer something specifically to that niche, it's even more powerful. Okay, so niche is the way to go. Be a big fish in a small pond, rather than a small fish in a big pond. Your marketing costs are lower if you're a big fish in a small pond, which means if you niche. But if you try to cater to everybody, you're gonna waste your money on marketing to people who are not your ideal customer. Okay, speak to those people, offer them benefit advantage that no one else is offering them. Okay, in that specific niche market. Your personality driven. I'm No BS Craig, here in Pasadena to the local market. My son, Mini-Me, Mitchell, he's part of my personality. That sets me apart because people remember me. No BS Craig why is that unique? Because I tell it like it is. There's lots of other people who will not do that. They're not as concise, they're not as clear, they're not as straightforward as I am. So that helps me set me apart. So think about your personality. What drives you? What do people know about you? What do people remember about you? That in itself can be a USP. And the best way to make these all work is integrate any combination of the above. And I think that through some of the examples I've demonstrated how that's possible. Okay, so USP is a very, very powerful tool in your marketing arsenal. It doesn't cost you anything, okay, but it does require a little thought and work to make it come true. And you may already have a USP working for you. You've just got to identify it based on these questions or these things that I've just shared with you. Okay, if you need help, I'll give you some examples here. Head and Shoulders helps you get rid of dandruff, right? That was what makes it very different than any other shampoo, right? Olay, you get younger looking skin. Domino's Pizza, this was their original USP. They don't use it anymore, but it did create a positioning in the marketplace. You get fresh, hot pizza delivered to your door in 30 minutes or less, or it's free. Now, it doesn't say you get delicious, tasty pizza. It says you get fresh, hot pizza, and the USP is get it in 30 minutes or less, or it's free. So there's a time frame, speed of service, and then there's a guarantee, free. Okay, so very powerful. FedEx, when your package absolutely positively has to get there overnight, they guarantee delivery by 10 a.m. Or else it's free. Okay. M&M's, the milk chocolate melts in your mouth and on your hands. A good USP. Not true. Actually, what's not the coloring, the dye from the peanuts melts in your hands. That's what actually melts. And lastly, Wonder Bread. Okay, Wonder Bread helps build strong bodies 12 different ways. They're being very specific. Benefits and advantages, 12 different ways. Okay, so and building strong bodies. So very powerful. You got to think about it for yourself. Okay, and it's just communicated in a sentence that's easily understood, that clearly delineates the benefits and advantages that you offer that no one else can, does, or will. Okay, so if you need more help, here are some resources. This is one of my favorites. Sales and persuasion strategies so certain of success they ought to require a weapons permit. This is where I got the phrase from Dan, the last thing you ever want to be compared to is just another blank. This is a great presentation. He did this in LA. I saw it live, and then I bought the program, and I listened to it over and over again because it's really powerful. But more than anything, it helps you really position yourself and set yourself apart from anybody else who does what you want. Now, it speaks in terms of salespeople, but we're all salespeople. Whether you consider yourself that or not, you are a salesperson first, because you have to sell people on why they should be doing business with you versus anybody else, right? Second resource is fairly simple. You've probably seen this: the Renegade Millionaire Marketing System. There's a series of Renegade Millionaire products, but this is a good starter one. It's not that expensive. It's a good investment. It's with Bill, Dan, and Lee Miltier. Lee Miltier is interviewing both Bill and Dan on very specific Kennedy-style marketing strategies, one of which is creating a powerful USP. So that is it for today's call. Thank you very much for being on the call. I'm sorry this is not live today, but if you have specific questions, always feel free to email me or post them on the comments under this webinar, and I will be happy to answer them as quickly as I can. So that's it for today. This is Craig Valine. This is the May 2011 Chapter Plus call. Go create your USP. Separate yourself from anybody else who does what you do. Create a powerful benefits and advantages statement. Lets them know, your clients, your customers, your prospects, without a doubt, they know why they should be doing business with you versus anybody else. Go do it, and you will be very, very successful. So that's it. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.